अभी इसमें आप 2-3 सवाल पूछ सकते हो कि मुझे इसमें वारंटी टर्म्स क्या है, इसमें फाइनेंशियल टर्म्स क्या है, आपको बता देंगे. So this was summarized for you. This is review. Important legal documents can be reviewed for different risks. Compliance risks, legal risks, financial risks, all of that. Just upload it here and ask it for it to analyze it for you. It will. This is a very beautiful feature. Translate. I had someone ask me कि मेरे पास चेन्नई में भी client है and गुजरात में भी client है. Oh, so can you please stand up? I was looking out for you. Did you like the feature? Could you please introduce yourself?
So hi everyone, this is C. Abhishek, and we are providing GST aggregation services across the country. And this feature, what he showed, was really useful because we are getting notices across the country in Gujarat and let's say but Hindi. Hindi is so difficult in that even we find it tough to read.
So many sessions will be Hindi.
Correct.
Yes, so it is very tough for us. But this feature is definitely
So all you need to do is upload this document. Quick question. बाहर गोलियां चल रही हैं. कोई गूगल या कोई और ट्रांसलेट कैसे करेगा? Bullets are walking outside. We don't want that, right? We give you AI translate. Bullets are being fired outside. Short and sweet. This time is less. I'm going to go a little fast. तो ट्रांसलेशन आप क्विकली कर सकते हो. कंपेयर. आपने एक बड़ी अग्रीमेंट बनाई 300 क्लॉजेस की, सामने वाले को भेज दी, उसने बोला मैंने 6, 8 और 10 वाले क्लॉज में चेंज कर दिया. 200 क्लॉज में उसने यस को नो कर दिया. इट चेंजेस द होल मीनिंग ऑफ द डॉक्यूमेंट. आप यहाँ पे अपलोड कर दीजिए. इट विल क्लियरली टेल यू 5, 6 and 7 and 20th 200 इसमें ये चेंजेस हुई है और ये चेंज हुई. एक कॉमा भी निकाल दिया ना, इसको वो पॉइंट कर देगा. ब्यूटीफुल. Okay, so what I talked about is a single document in summarize, review, translate and compare. Imagine what DocuCloud can do. ये use cases बहुत ज़्यादा है. Upload 100 documents in there. Example, एक builder है, उसके पास 50 properties है जो उसने lease पे दी हुई है. उसका estate manager छुट्टी पे जाता है. The builder wants to know कि मेरी कौन सी property मार्च में renew हो रही है. Documents uploaded, just one query. You'll get a table of which all properties are being under renewal next month. Great. Use cases बहुत है. You can think of it. Draft. Sir, after you're done with the phone. So because आपके लिए draft. You upload a notice that you received from, a client gets a notice. आपने ये notice इधर upload कर दिया. PDF. It will populate the data on its own. There will be some grounds of appeal that you will fill in. All you will do is click on submit. And it will draft a reply to your notice. Fantastic. A very big problem where grammatical errors are causing huge problems. यहाँ पे AI proper lingo, proper तरीके से chat GPT की तरह नहीं कि trust that all is well with you, hope your family is doing well. वैसा नहीं. So it will give you a proper legal way of doing this. So this was for you. Ask, interact and draft. I'm going to show you 2 more tools real quick, which I'm sure you will appreciate. Alright, so before that I'll tell you there's a tool called, you all have WhatsApp, right? Once you subscribe with us, we will give you a number. All you need to do is if you're traveling or sitting in office or sitting in front of the officer, you have a query to ask, take out your WhatsApp, उस नंबर पे क्वेश्चन डालिए, रिस्पॉन्स में आंसर लीजिए in 30 seconds. Anything related to general law, like I said, direct tax, indirect tax, as well as corporate. Good or not good? Not good. I can demonstrate it to you outside because the gentleman is not staring us over the list. So you'll have to give me 5 more minutes, because आपने मेरा 15 मिनट वेट कराना है. So this is a tool. अभी सबके पास Microsoft Word है, right? You draft on Microsoft Word. I'll give you a tool which you can add into your Microsoft Word directly. आपने एक बड़ा डॉक्यूमेंट है, आप इधर क्लिक करिए, बोलिए summarize. Summarize in 200 words. ये चीज जो है आपको समराइज करके दे देगा। जो आपने इंटरेक्ट कर रहे थे ऑनलाइन में, यू हैव टू अपलोड द डॉक्यूमेंट, अभी अपलोड करने की भी जरूरत नहीं है, आप आपके माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड में ही सारा कर सकते हो। नाउ अ वेरी बिग डॉक्यूमेंट, यू डोंट नो वेयर टू स्टार्ट वेयर टू एंड, इसको डॉक्यूमेंट मैप पे क्लिक करिए, से जनरेट मैप, ये आपको इंडेक्स बना के देगा। जैसे एक टेक्स्ट बुक होता है ना, टाइटल, सब टाइटल, उसके नीचे क्या क्या पॉइंट्स है, दिस विल क्विकली मेक इट फॉर यू एंड देन यू कैन डीप डाइव बाय लुकिंग, अच्छा हाँ मुझे ये चाहिए इसमें इंफॉर्मेशन, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इज फॉर्म व्हेन Amazon dispatches the ordered product. Pick that point up, come into DocuChat and ask. I will give you another feature here. I select this and I will say, okay. Okay, I will say, translate this in Marathi for me. Right? So again, I'm not engaged that. So there's one where you change the profile. अगर आपको मराठी में डॉक्यूमेंट आता है, आप उसको इंग्लिश में पूछिए, वो आपको इंग्लिश में आंसर देगा. So this is a tool which can be very useful. Do you see this legal chat? Legal chat दिख रहा है आपको यहाँ पर? ये आवाज तो दीजिए. Okay. सॉरी, सो लीगल चैट जो मैंने आपको कहा, ऑनलाइन जाके आप आस्क कर सकते हो, डायरेक्ट टैक्स, इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स, फिर मैंने आपको कहा आप व्हाट्सएप पे पूछ सकते हो, अभी आप माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड में बैठे बैठे आप आस्क कर सकते हो एंड यू विल गेट योर आंसर्स देयर व्हिच यू कैन पुल आउट एंड ऐड इट टू योर ड्राफ्ट एंड सेंड इट. इज इट गुड? मेरी तालियां हो जाएंगी. व्हाट आर द चांसेस ऑफ एरर? Okay. So, in what? Where are you asking? Where did you ask?
Section 1C.
Thank you. I was waiting for that answer.
So the
चार बार पूछा आपने, कहाँ पर पूछा,
So
कहाँ
the
पर
reply was
So-
that the order which is passed under section 179 can be appealed before CITP is wrong.
Correct. So thank you for that. Please, thanks. Please clap for him, yaar. Please, I just want you to know that ChatGPT is a good tool. But then जब आप legal research कर रहे हो, citations चाहिए, maybe answer नहीं चलेगा. Maybe नहीं चलेगा. And who all attended WOFA? Right? You all were there at WOFA. We were the principal sponsors there. There's a lot of development happening between WOFA and us, because it needs to be reached out to the masses in India. And you cannot use incorrect judgments. You cannot use it. It's a problem. So we are here to solve that for you. Two things that I would leave you with. Number one is we are here to save you a lot of time, and we wish for you to grow multifolds. And second, which I will say in relation to ChatGPT, the gentleman, Arjun के teacher कौन थे? सबने बोल दिया, हाथ उठा के बोलते तो गिफ्ट मिल जाता. द्रोणाचार्य जब अर्जुन को बुलाते हैं और स्टूडेंट्स को बुलाते हैं, बोलते हैं क्या दिख रहा है? एक जन बोलता है मेरे को तो पूरा झाड़ दिख रहा है, एक जन बोलता है मेरा पूरी आई कैन सी द होल बर्ड. अर्जुन को बुलाते बोलता है मुझे आग दिख रही है, तो बोलता है शूट. सो वी विल नॉट गिव यू इधर उधर की चीजें, वी विल गिव यू द टारगेटेड आंसर दैट यू लुकिंग फॉर. सो वी आर अ कंपनी मेड इन इंडिया फॉर द वर्ल्ड. वी आर हियर टू सीक योर ब्लेसिंग्स. वी वुड लाइक यू टू ट्राई द प्रोडक्ट आउट. Subscribe it for a month. Try it. If you like it, I'll upgrade it to you for that special offer for the entire year. And you will not go wrong, I assure you that. So thank you very much. Yes. Michael, say again. No, you can ask it, please. No, you ask it.
Sir, this thing for foreign tax credit.
Huh?
What I am saying is foreign tax credit के लिए form number 67 फाइल करना होता है. There is no time limit for the form 67. Recently court said even you can submit it later. But generally law says file before the filing the return. Now the return was filed in due date. What happened? The mistake was done that the person assessment year was 21-22 was mentioned 2021. And who cares concept में September 22 में जब intimation आया, CPC rejected because the assessment year was wrong. So he revised Form 67 in September 21 because no time limit of Form 67.
I understand.
ITR cannot be revised. And then afterwards, नींद से उठा January 24 में 154 किया to the assessing officer in Calcutta. I told him this is not a mistake apparent from records. And EO passed the speaking order that this is not a mistake apparent from records and this issue involved is 40 days. Now my question is there anything that can the Form 67 be revised after the intimation receipt? Everywhere it says it can be filed before the assessment, delay filed is the fine. But what about the intimation?
Well, we'll take this query out because it's a little too detailed. I didn't know it was
just
going to be
asked
that
you.
long.
No, just-
Like, chakkar aa gaya मेरे को.
Because that was part. The message spoke to you, I was listening.
No problem. We can see you outside. And one last note, friends, we are looking for associate partners or training partners or whatever you call it. If you know anyone who would be interested in being a flag bearer of Lex Legis, a training partner for Lex Legis, I'll be outside. Please do come and exchange your cards. We have to cover the entire India. Sir, I don't know. You'll have to ask him if he'll allow your question. Please stand up. While I walk out, you can tell me. No, he wants to compliment me. Sir, compliment, sir. Oh, awesome. You want to become a partner. All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiguji. I think the energy that he had brought after the post-lunch session is really amazing. Something is different from him, and that spark is, I believe, it's unmatchable. A great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would request Chairman Rajesh ji to please give the closing remarks.
It was a very insightful session about any AI-based legal software. Thank you very much, and we are grateful for your sponsorship. And this event is powered by your company. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone. Thank you, Tiguji. Moving ahead, we are going with the fourth technical session of the day, and for that, I would like to call upon on stage the speaker, CA Venugopal Gelaji, and our Vice President, CA Vrinder Kumar Agarwalji, as the Chairman of the meeting.
বসলে হবে না, স্ক্রিনটি চালাতে গেলে এটা
So I would like to request Joint Secretary, Advocate Devan Villiani, to please come on the dais and felicitate our Speaker of the Day, Venugopal Gela sir. To give an introduction, sir has been a constant speaker for Calcutta since last many years. He is a founder partner of Venu and Vinay, Chartered Accountant since 2002, and he secured All India rank 45 in CA final. He is also a certified information system auditor. So he is also an ICI Indirect Taxes Committee member and a renowned speaker at ICI on GST and technology related issues. Over to Mahendra ji for his opening remarks.
Thank you, Shyam. Good afternoon, esteemed guests, speaker and participants. It is my privilege to welcome you all to today's session on the intersection of artificial intelligence in GST. In a rapidly evolving world, the integration of AI with taxation system offer unprecedented opportunity for efficiency, accuracy and innovation. As businesses and government increasingly rely on the data-driven solution, AI potential to optimize GST compliances, fraud detection and decision making has become an exciting area of exploration. Today we will dive into the transformative role AI can play in simplifying GST process, enhancing transparency and ultimately contributing to the smarter economic system. I encourage all the participants to engage actively with our expert as we explore not only the current application but also the future prospect of AI in the realm of tax administration. Thank you for being here and I look forward for a fruitful and thoughtful provoking discussion. Thank you.
All right, so we had a teaser of AI. I'm sure all of you had flavor what AI in play. In fact, Tinku has made my life simple. Now I want to take this session little one step lower and give a glimpse of what would be our future or where we would be stepping. So what I am going to discuss is the role of technology in the GST litigation. I will say GST compliance and GST automation. First year of GST implementation, we were busy in learning GST. Second year came, 18-19, we then realized there is something called 2A, input tax credit should match. And July 17, if someone was taking a session or I was taking a session, I would have said that you have a bill with you, you have paid, you have received the material or credit level. Jo hoga dekha jayega. Now, forget me. You will not say today to a client, nahi, aisa nahi, tu bhi mein dikh raha hai kya, wo bhi dekh. So the days have changed, time has changed. And over the period our knowledge has improved. The notices were mismatched between 2A and 3B. They were rampant. But are we seeing those notices? Like how many of you have seen one ASMT 10 saying 2A versus 3B in last 6 months? Hardly. But 3 years back, that was there. So what is changing is with the technology, with the knowledge, our approach and the way we are conducting the business. When I say one business for GST, it's section 59, filing a self-assessment return. Now what the AI has a role in this. Last year when I had a session in Kolkata in the ARC conference, I clearly said, AI is going to take a major role and you will have tools which will talk to you, which will help you in analyzing your notice, which will help you in making a reply to your notice. And you have seen like, and Vivek was asking that what's the difference ICI GPT or I can create my GPT. Everything is one and the same, a flavor of it. There's a difference between Maruti 800, there is a difference between Audi. It has its own features. You will get more comfort, more power, more things. But fundamentally, you need to have a car to drive, right? You need to have that comfort, so you need to have a car to drive. And that is where you need to have tools, technology to adopt. 1970, Industrial Revolution, where machines were big time in play. All laborers went on strike saying that, okay, what will happen to us? Our jobs will go. Today, in the morning session, someone was saying that employees, we don't get employees in jobs. Like you want to give salary, you want to pay 20,000, you want a BCom guy to come and stay with you for 2 years. You may be there for 2 months, 6 months, uske baad pata nahi. Now AI, you've been hearing in the first session also, you heard that okay, AI is going to replace the jobs. Now what is it going to replace is like what happened in 1970, what is going to happen now? And I wanted to really get this straight. Technology cannot replace humans who are adopting it. There's a last disclaimer at the end. Technology cannot replace humans who are adopting it. अगर आप मान के चलोगे कि नहीं वो अब उसकी दुनिया में मेरी दुनिया में हूँ, then technology will take over you. AI will take over all humans who don't adopt AI. आज की डेट में कोई मुंशी जी आएगा बोलेगा I have a great talent in writing the books. I will write the books for you. Morning I will write for one client, afternoon I will write for one client. दोनों book red color binded आपको मैं दूंगा. हम लेंगे क्यों? This is like बहुत तारीफ होती थी मेरा, like मैं calculation carry over mistake नहीं करूँगा, सभी करूँगा. Does it matter? Doesn't. In an Excel, would someone have some 10 lines? Will he use plus A1 plus A2 plus A3? वो करके बैठेगा. Or he take a calculator and do a total and do an entry. And if someone is doing in front of you, would you tolerate him? Would you tolerate him? If you don't adopt AI, if you don't adopt technology, client will not tolerate you, employee will not tolerate you, your customers, your vendors, no one is going to tolerate you. If you are not using the technology, you are using the same thing, saying plus A1 plus A2 plus A3 is what you are doing. You are not applying that some function. So when tools are there, why people hesitate using the tools? We talk about growth. We talk about there's people to come. We talk about quality, but how does it come? Today's world, how does it come? Manual works doesn't work, and that is where the AI comes into the play. Someone was saying that all India, I get one notice in Rajasthan, UP, Hindi में पढ़ा हुआ. Can you say client नहीं वो वहाँ का है, वो आप मेरे से मत बात करो, वहाँ जाके बात करो. Like how would your client relate to you? But you are saying he's your client. You are saying to the client, you are my client. Why are you worried? I am here. मैं हूँ ना. Now you are that Shahrukh Khan of me. For that to become, you got to adopt technology. Today, I am sure many of you are using government Excel utility to generate JSON and upload a file. Nothing wrong with it. Maybe at least better than creating JSON manually. But does it scale? How many of you do GST compliances, file GST returns for yourself, for your That's all. Okay, I see only 60%. A question to all those people who have raised their hand. Let's say Infosys Limited from Bangalore wants to appoint you for filing the monthly GST returns of theirs. And I said theirs across India, they would have some 30 odd registrations and one ISD. At least they would have 4 ISD registrations. They want you to file their returns. Reliance Industries wants you to handle their compliance. You will say, very happy. I'm glad. At least someone is considering that I can do, but I cannot do, I will not do. Why? Data is huge. I don't know how to handle the data. I only have one person. I only have 10 staff. They're already filled. Forget getting new business from the client. Forget for a moment getting a new business from the client. Existing client, how do you do a value addition? For the existing client, how do you do value addition? अरे value addition करना क्या वो foreign trip जाएगा तो भी मेरे को पूछेगा कि कितना कार्ड में करूँ कितना ये करूँ. I know everything. But unfortunately, you don't know the way he is doing the business. The businesses are changing. You haven't even ventured the classification of the goods or services he is doing. Right? Yeah, he is like maybe he is selling this is for an electronic gadget. So he has assumed this as 8705. Who knows? It could be 8613. Now what I am saying is a HSN code. We have never looked into it. Unless a notice lands one day that okay, hey, why are you classifying as 8705? It should be 8613, you are paying 12%, why is it not 18%? Or it should have been 12%, you are collecting 18%, you have collected extra. No, you cannot say that okay, I'll pay 12%, you already collected. There is no competition, or you are making the client less effective. That's not my business. He asked me to file the returns, that is my business, I am doing filing of his returns. So for a moment, forget Infosys. Where are you doing justice to your client? You get a notice. The client has received a notice. Some recovery under section 79. Some bank attachment happened. You don't even know why. Notice has come. You say, I can file the returns, but you have to go to an expert. But even before you take a support of an expert, can you immediately do a legal research? Like right now we saw, drag and drop the notice. It will tell you why the notice has come. Start interacting with him. With him means with the notice and with the tool. Saying that why did it come? What was the legal what will be the legal consequence if I don't reply? By when I have to reply? To whom I should reply? Can you give me a draft reply? And you can instantly go back to the client saying, hey, looks like one of your vendor has not made the payment and they want you to pay the tax amount to the government and not to the vendor, something like that, any of that. Then the client is relieved. See, when you see a notice, आपको कुछ लगता नहीं है, like दिन भर देखते रहते हैं. But when someone gets a notice, like he gets fearful, like कुछ हुआ मेरे साथ, right? So, are we there to give that confidence to him, saying that okay, this is what it is, and I know Abhishek, okay, you go to him, he will draft the reply, like that. Do you have people whom you can say that hey, this has come? You draft the reply, I don't worry, I can go and speak to the department, I speak to the office. Like, have we reached there? The client is interacting with the staff, how well he is trained, are we looking at that? And that is where the technology comes into play. If we are not adopting technology, then a kid who just passed 24 years old, he is going to talk to the client in an impressive way, saying that I can do this, and I will take care of it. Client would only be there with you for that limited period, looking at your grey hair, in a wisdom in his thing, saying, इनको कुछ पता है, कुछ तो he will take care of me. But that hope कब तक रहेगा? No one knows. Your existing clients are staying. New client, he will think, he will interview. कितने लोग हैं? अगर वो चला गया तो how will it be handled? Who will be handled? He will be asking us. Are we geared up? That is a question that I want you to ask is, right? So I'm not spending much time on the PPT, but I want to leave on these questions. And just quickly going on what are all the things that we should look at. People who are doing compliance. And I say filing returns. That's also bread and butter. That's a good thing to do. Definitely very good thing to do. But, and I tell this point to every sessions most of the time. Do you have a practice of preparing annual return every month? If not, then you are not taking care of it. What annual return? Sir, December में एक बार भर देंगे तो हो जाएगा. Assuming the business is closed in January. What's the annual return? April to Jan. You are filing the returns for the month of Jan. And when you are filing the returns for the month of Jan, can you not finalize what is the credit that is available in the portal, what is the credit that he has taken, what is the ledger balances, the books are showing. While finalizing the books of accounts in the month of September, July, August, you will see some electronic credit ledger, 5%, 12%, 18% with some balances. No clue what that balance is. What should I do? As a statutory auditor, you have no clue what should I do. You will say, as on 31st March, क्या balance है उसको इकट्ठा करके write off करो या कुछ balance रख दो. Something like your deferred tax AS22 adjustment. You would want to do it. Why not? It can be done on a month on month. मंथ ऑन मंथ करेंगे तो डेटा ही वो लास्ट 11 तारीख को फाइल करना है, 10 तारीख को डेटा आता है, कभी कभी 11 तारीख को आता है. क्या है, कैसे कर? आई एम नॉट आस्किंग व्हेन यू आर सेइंग डू इट, यू शुड डू इट. हायर अ सिस्टम ना, हायर एन एक्सपर्ट सिस्टम विथ यू. व्हेन यू आर फाइलिंग रिटर्न फॉर द मंथ ऑफ जनवरी, you are expected to look books of accounts from April to December also. आपने अप्रैल टू दिसंबर बुक्स तो फाइल कर दिए, भर दिए, बट उसके बाद there would be some entries, कुछ डिलीट हो गए होंगे, कुछ नया ऐड होंगे, और someone's GST नंबर पहले नहीं था, डाला हुआ होगा. If you are for a moment considering sir April to December, हमारा क्लाइंट तो बहुत ठीक ठाक क्लाइंट है. If that being the case, on April 20th or 22nd, after you filing the 3B, you should be able to sign the stat audit report. R1 फाइल हो गया तो सेल्स रजिस्टर बंद हो गई, 3B फाइल हो गया तो ITC एक्सपेंस बंद हो गई. और क्या है, amortization, depreciation and lease equalization 4-5 एंट्री है, but definitely no. So are we there when we are filing the returns that we are doing it? The next question comes is cost. Sir, he pays only 10,000 rupees every month and 10,000, you expect me to do all this? Of course I expect you to do all this. There were days where we were filing income tax returns. Today, who files income tax returns? Who files income tax returns?
Consultant.
Softwares file. I don't want to name a clear tax, taxman, tax planner, tax India, taxman, computer. Those tools. So, a software salaried employee log into that portal, files by himself. And those are open. So he says, I am happy with that. And those tools are processing, at least 50 lakh returns are being processed by those tools. 10 years before, what tools kahan pe the? Nahi the. But today, people expect. Now, if client is still paying you at 10,000 rupees, but he is expecting you to do April to January reconciliation. Of course, he is not saying vocal, but I will say it. Right? I will definitely say it, that if you are filing, better take care of this. I am not going to spare my employee who says, Khali January return file karega. So, where is that you are bringing in the technology to upgrade yourself? On a monthly basis, reconciling YTD credits, reconciling YTD returns that are paid, and amendments that needs to be done, and give an annual return. Give him a report saying that इतना गलत है, अभी फाइल करने के बाद मुझे पता चला कि इतना गलत है. Don't worry, अगले महीने के रिटर्न में हम करेक्ट कर सकते हैं. Where is that we are saying it? That is something you should look at, adopt technology, and I say use ASP and GSP solutions. There are solutions that out there, use them. And if you are wanting to do more, you can do automation of all the above steps using RPA, like what Ramanjam has showed in the morning. You can use on top of this some tools to do it. E-invoice, e-way bills. Good thing e-invoice, 95% I've seen people have automated. Very rarely I see people go to e-invoice portal and generate an e-invoice. But e-way bill, still I see people going to e-way bill portal and doing e-way bill. I really don't know why. Penalty under section 129 is criminal. At least in section 74, when you do a fraud, the penalty is only 100%. But non-compliance with e-way bill, penalty is 200%, much higher than what it is there as a fraud. As if we are doing a fraud, double fraud. Now, why don't you suggest that, okay, automate it? Automate what? Not generation of the e-way bill. At the midnight, do you have an acknowledgement from the transporter that the vehicle material has been delivered? If not, why don't you renew the e-way bill? There should be a system to automate this. Why don't you look at automating all this? And please note, error is human. We will make mistake. If we are not making mistakes, that means either we are machine or God. If there is a data in one system, you are doing a data entry in another place, you will end up making mistakes. Why do you give the room? If there is a data in the ERP, it has to go to the IRP or e-waybill portal automatically. HSN rate, everything should be automated. As a consultant, you can play the role of advising, being with the client, advising. If not, there are tools, use those tools. If not, like talk to people like me, ask me, sir, this is the client, iska ye expectation hai, kuch tool hai kya, karna kaise? But if you don't do that and you do your own methods, at one point client will leave you because he got harassed by an officer somewhere कि आप मान लेकर जा रहे हो वो लोकेशन आपका रजिस्ट्रेशन है ही नहीं या आपने डिलीवरी चलान करना था बट आपने ये किया था so it's like one reason and client is upset with you. You are my CA. I thought you will know everything. If you, now you cannot say that I am not an expert in GST. So you find a way to get out of it. Chatbots and AI assistants. See, AI also has hallucination, which Tinku mentioned, and I'm sure some of you have read about the ITAT Bangalore, which gave a judgment where surprisingly it has some case laws of 2 Supreme Court and 1 Telangana High Court, which never existed. Do not use GPT. It could be anything. Chat GPT of ICA or Gemini or anything. Do not use if you are not of that domain. If the GPT is giving you an answer, it is giving you only 70% correct. And that is why it is called AI assistant. You should relate it to as your assistant, as a junior. How many of you do the work in the office? I don't do the work. I have a team who does the work. I only review. Whether it is notice drafting or preparation of some internal audit report, something. There is a team who is doing it. Just because team has done it, is it 100% correct? Can I send it just like that to a client? Answer is no. Like just because assistant has done, GPT assistant has done something, you can't take it as such. But at the same time, if you don't even know GST, and you say that, hey, now Tinkuji has given me a good solution, then let me put a board. All your notices will be answered by me. 3,500 rupees per notice, ek board laga dunga, sabhi aa jao line laga. Then again you are doing a great injustice. Because it might be wrong. And if you don't know, then it is a great thing. All that it is doing is formatting, simplifying, analyzing and giving you an input. If you are relying that work is good, then client need not talk to you, he can rely on the assistant work and then you can dump 100 assistant and you just keep billing basis the number of assistant hours. Where is the human intellect? So GPTs have hallucinations. You should not use a GPT if you don't know that field. But if you are in a field of GST, income tax accounts, you should use a GPT in that field. If you are using something which you don't know is wrong, if you are not using which you are in the same field is also wrong. Please subscribe, and you people ask which is good. Anything is good here, but kuch to le lo. You don't be in the world ki ek din aayega jo like world class product ban jayega, tab jaake main looga, tab kabhi hoga bhi nahi. You may ask that I need all. Return filing ke idhar jaun, iske liye idhar jaun. How about one box which everything is done? Then what is our role? Client bhi wahi box pe jaake wahi pe kar lega na. Why should he come to us? Get present to it. Predictive analysis and risk management is the next area you should venture in. Unless client gives the sales register, you don't even know what is the sales. Unless the client tells that there is an import of some software license I have to pay under RCM, you don't have a knowledge of it. Unless client says that this month I have excess liability, you don't have it. Your tools do not say that. By mistake, if the client accountant has changed one number and he has given you a sales register you have filed, you do not have a mechanism to tell just before you file, that looks like something is wrong. Your monthly payment is around 1 lakh rupees, from this month has become 4 lakhs. Or this month, why it is only 10,000 rupees cash payment? Kya ho gaya? It's like you do not have a mechanism where system stops. That brings that the report that we send to the client month on month, does it carry a YTD, an analysis, all those things? Do we have that? Are we creating a model wherein system can do it? Now you may ask it, sir, जो आप बोल रहे हो सही से ये, अब बताओ कि कहाँ होगा ये? There is no one tool that it happens. You should ask. Whichever the tool, if you are still using Excel, you are happy, you have learned Power BI, Power Query, Vivek has taught me Power BI, Power Query, I will use that, go on at the olden days. Trust me, 15 years back, I was very happy with Excel where I was doing macro coding and I used to write a lot of programs, applications. Then I taught MScript, but almost it is 10 years I'll teach someone on Excel. Today I will say, there is better machine learning algorithms. Excel is more like a temporary storage, like a pen drive. You bring the data, present it, and done. Excel is not the database. Excel is not the primary source of information. Yeah. So the challenges and the limitations in AI, data privacy and security concerns. If you are using the ChatGPT, Gemini, any of that, if you are loading any information, the information is going public, you should know that. The information is public and they are data hungry, they capture that information. Then dependency on the accurate input data. Tinku ji said, GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. आप खचरा डाल रहे हो तो खचरा वापस आएगा. So you need to know how to give a prompt. Like the best example where morning Ramanujam has said, I am taking a session on Tally AI, can you prepare a PPT? It prepared a PPT. Now, if you would have done that at home, he has come in here and he is just showing it. And you know, oh, okay, this is what he has done research of this. But it was just a 3-minute job. So you should know what is that I am giving input to the GPT and how relevant, how accurate, how closer, that is matters. You are giving आधा अधूरा information आप उसको दे रहे हो, आधा अधूरा knowledge आएगा. So that is another limitation. Next, handling complex legal. You can ask a GPT saying that, see, I got a assessment order, I went for a DRC 07 आ गया, मैंने appeal पे चला गया, 107 appeal order भी आ गया, but appeal order was in my favor. Under 108, revision authority has opened my case. Is it right? Is it possible? Now, these are little complicated things. It may say yes sometimes, it may say no sometimes. You should have an ability to understand what it is saying. You really need to have an ability to understand what it is saying. Now, if an assistant comes and says, have you filed R1? He will say no. Let's say he has not filed. What will you ask? Why did you not file? He will say client has not given the data. Then client को आपने पूछा क्या? Sir मैंने mail कर दिया, वो अभी भी आया नहीं. Then you will call the client and say that sir mail भी गया, आप data भी भेजे नहीं. वो बोलेगा मेरे पास client data आया नहीं. अरे अब तो mail भेजे नहीं क्या? Sir मुझे लगा सोचा था कि भेजा हूँ, शायद मैं भूल गया हूँ. या भेजा था उस spam में चला गया हूँ. अब वो गोली दे देगा. Like you will take it. GPTs are also like that. You ask something, na, it want to escape from the situation. It will give you anything, any nonsense it knows, it will give you. You should have a human intellect to analyze whether whatever it has given is right or wrong. If you are thinking that it is given a right thing, definitely no. So there is next set of the thing. Okay, it can handle the challenges also. Yeah, so I would stop here. Okay, there's whole things on GPT, the advantages which you should use it. This piece of the presentation I want you to look at leisurely and correlate, because using GPT is more important. And to start with, the easiest is ICAI GPT. I don't trust it, by the way, because it has connected to the open world. it has lot of flaws. But if you are, let's say you are in doing accounting standards, NAFRA and other aspects you are involved, use it, it will aid you, for sure. That is a start point to use. Let me repeat, that's a start point to use. That is not the end. You definitely got to have subscriptions to various other tools. We are here as a chartered accountants with a outside world respect us for our intellect. And these tools are actually polishing our intellect. So I would say that having subscription to softwares is only giving you aid to move forward. What is next coming up is what I want to talk for next say 2 minutes, and I want to leave it to Q&A. The way you are using GPT, department use GPT. And they might not use ChatGPT, they will use even more better, like how DeepSeek of China is there, different, India will have its own where government will be using. So it would be a bar between two GPTs, like they said 2 robots, they are getting into a debate. And why yoga? Now if you think that I can now he would notice cases देखा मैं देख लूँगा मैं भी भरपूर reply दूँगा. अभी आपका reply it will put it counter all this point, it will give you all those counters. So there is a war that would happen using the technology. The point that you have to get is when that is the future that we are getting into, where am I now? Am I getting prepared for that future? मैं बैठ के देख रहा हूँ जब होगा ना तब मैं जरूर उस दिन एक दिन आएगा उस दिन is that the statement. This is the first one I want to try. Point number 2 is like how you are equipped. Is the team equally equipped? How you are equipped is the team is equally equipped. I don't expect anyone to know the programming. I don't expect you to know Python. I don't expect you to know R or anything. There are programmers whose job is to do programming and give us the tools for us to use. But are you investing in that to happen? And one famous point of mine, which always I tell everywhere, is certain things are not possible for the system. You should know. Like computers, कुछ काम नहीं कर सकते, कुछ चीजें काम नहीं कर सकते. And you know what computers cannot do? Any guess? It cannot do anything that you cannot imagine. It cannot do. Let me repeat. Anything that you cannot imagine, it cannot do. If you can imagine something and you want that, systems are capable of doing it. So limitation is not there. Limitation is with us, and I would conclude by saying that start open mindset and upgrade yourself. Thank you DTPA for giving this opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir, for such an insightful deliberation. I would request Chairman Mahinder Agarwal ji to please give his concluding remarks.
Thank you all for your valuable participation and insightful contribution during the today's session on Artificial Intelligence in GST. We have explored how AI can revolutionize the way GST is managed, from improving compliances to enhancing efficiency and tackling fraud. The discussion today have highlighted the immense potential of AI to streamline tax administration, ensure greater accuracy, and create more transparent system. As we move forward, it is clear that the integration of AI will continue to play a pivotal role in shaping the future in taxation. However, we must also recognize the challenges that come with the transformation and work collaboratively to address them, ensuring that technology serves everyone equally. I encourage you all to continue exploring this idea and look for opportunity to innovate in your respective area. Let's stay committed to leverage the power of AI to build smarter, more efficient and fair system for the future. Once again, thank you for your time and participation, and I wish you all the best in your continued work in that exciting field. this wrap up the session in the positive and forward-thinking manner and encouraging ongoing engagement with the subject matter. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, we'll move for the last technical session of the day, which will be followed by the quiz. So, for the next technical session, the topic is responsible accounting, and we have a very learned speaker, Mr. Anupam Agarwal ji. I would like him to call up on the dais, along with the chairman of the session, C.S. Sujit Sultania, Treasurer DTPA. A very different and unique session that we have curated for this time. So I would like to ask Mohanlal ji to please come and felicitate a speaker of the day, Mr. Anupam Agarwal. Mr. Anupam Agarwal is the chair of IFON, a foundation dedicated to reducing internet poverty in India through research and capacity building. He is a Shevering Fellow and a key leader at the Tata Consultancy Services, where he heads global IT standardization efforts. His key contribution is his global lead for ISO Green Software Standards, a member of BIS Data Panel, co-author of Forensic Accounting and Investigation Standard 110 by ICI, board member of Public Technical Identifiers California, co-chair of the Policy Group Asia Pacific Internet Registry, and program committee member India Internet Governance Forum. He is a CA, CWA and CA. He recently completed LLB to further expertise his digital governance and a strong believer in digital governance as a driver of national economic growth. So I would request the session chairman, Sujit Sultania ji, to give his opening remarks and then hand over to the speaker for the session.
Accounting is more than just keeping records, it is about honesty, transparency and accountability. As professionals, we have a duty to ensure financial integrity, follow ethical practices and make responsible decisions that benefits business and society. With changing regulations and new technology, it is more important than ever to stay committed to ethical accounting. This session will help us understand how we can uphold these values in our work. I look forward to insightful discussion ahead. Let's begin with our speaker, CM Paul.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mohan, for doing all the hard work for bringing me here. Thank you, DTPA, for inviting me. I was not aware of the dress code, so मैं बता दूं कि मेरे पास भी कोट है. The session is titled Responsible Accounting, and I think Sultania ji started very well by saying that what responsibility actually means. So, responsible accounting refers to ethical, transparent and legal compliant financial management. So, very simple. अगर time कम होता तो presentation यहाँ भी खत्म कर सकते हैं. Since we have some time, we will go on. Now, when I asked Shyam that how much time I have and what is my time, when should I speak, he said that 30 minutes and somewhere around 3 o'clock. So when today morning when I saw the brochure, I found that I have to speak for 1 hour. So मैंने slide में थोड़ा पानी मिला दिया. I have expanded the slide, but now I find I have again 30 minutes only. So I will rush through the slides and then possibly last 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So this issue of technology impacting the accounting is not new. It has happened earlier also. And then that is what we are going to go through in next 15-20 minutes. So what are the questions which we are going to look at? The first question is how the concept has evolved over time. What was responsibility 100 years back, 200 years back, 500 years back, and how it has evolved over time. How technology has impacted the dimension of accounting. What kind of modeling should we do correctly, and हमारा ये प्रोफेशन आगे कैसा रहेगा? What will be the name of the profession? Is chartered accountant still going to be relevant, or should we say ourselves AI accountant or something? So possibly that is the way forward. So let's look into the history. The biggest technological revolution which happened in accounting was in 1990, when the double system of entry of accounting was implemented. 700 years we have not been able to change that. Nothing has changed in the double entry accounting system. It was developed by a gentleman called Pacioli in Italy. Then in the 15th century, again a huge technological intervention happened, which was the happening of printing press. The printing came into game. 17th century we found that there is a calculators which are getting invented. 18th and 19th century you will find that there is an advancement in the bookkeeping and cost accounting came into game. 19th century telephone, telegraph, all this came into game. So all these are technological things which are coming into play, and accounting is adapting itself. So responsible accounting is nothing but adapting to the current environment. And in the 20th century you will find that the computers are there, so it is again creating a huge impact on how things are done. So 1494, this was the time when the double entry system was invented by this gentleman called Pacioli. And at that time, in that 14th century, that was the time when Renaissance was happening. Leonardo da Vinci was painting Mona Lisa. Okay. Adam was painting some other painting. Okay. But this gentleman did not write this book which he wrote, Summa di Arithmetica, in the Latin, which was the prevalent language at that time. He wrote it in Renaissance Italian, which means that it was a free flowing. Even the spelling was not mandatory. You can write in whatever way you wanted. But he wrote two things, debito and credito, which we still take forward. So the origin of debit and credit is done in 1494. Three things in this book. If you read this book is available online. It has been translated. It is available online. Three things are he mentions is required. One is that every business requires cash and credit. It requires a good accountant, and it requires an internal control. Now, when you read through the book, you will find that when the book is trying to refer to good accountant, it is actually meaning good accounting. Okay. So, an accounting which can adapt itself. And the book has two principal sections, inventory control and internal control. And as an auditor, this is only two things which we have to look at. Whether the inventory is correct or not, whether the internal controls are correct or not. And if you can do that, we are good. So, the controls which are mentioned in this book, and if you compare that with the US GAAP, you will find US GAAP ने copy कर लिया भाई, ठीक है? But they have copied from 500 years back. But exactly you will find word by word, whatever has been written in US GAAP, the things was mentioned in 1494 in this book. So this Pacioli was a friend of Leonardo da Vinci who painted Mona Lisa. And so he was very impressed. All his accounts were being kept by the double entry system. He found that he has better control on the pieces which he was painting. And at that time in Italy, there were people who were working on single entry. They thought, kya hai yaar? What is this? Single entry is acha hai. Why double entry and all? So they did not change. And people who did not change in current world, we call them legacy. Okay, so you will hear the word legacy software, legacy hardware and all. So at that time, single entry became a legacy for them. So it is very important to have friends at good places. Okay, if I did not have Mohan, I would not have been standing here. So, but influential friends are very important. So, Pacioli had a good friend called Leonardo da Vinci, and while I was preparing this slide, I said, thought कि रामायण के टाइम पे कैसे accounting होता था, single entry or double entry. So let me go back and check. So यहाँ पे I used ChatGPT, okay, and it answered few things, but I had to dig a little deeper to find out that Ayodhya Kand, 100, there is a mention when Bharat is moving towards, is going to meet Ram in the jungle. Ram is asking him to do few things, asking that how is Kaikeyi, how is Dasrath and all. And at that point in time, he's also asked that how is the income and expenditure? Okay. So, and are you spending the money well or not? So this is what the translation is. I hope your income is abundant and expenditure minimum. I hope your treasure does not reach undeserving people over. Okay. So this is, accounting is back from Ramayana. So there are other instances in Mahabharata also, I'll skip that. So coming back, 15th century, today broadcasting is so easy. If I have something, I can give you to all. WhatsApp, email. 15th century, it was not an easy thing to do. But at that time, printing press was just invented. Gutenberg printing press was just invented, and that allowed the double entry system to propagate among the masses. If printing would not have been there for another 100 years, double entry system would have been just in Italy. It would not have gone to the public at large. Fast forward ourselves to the, so the point here is that printing impacted the society in general, and my take is that when a technology impacts a society in general, then it has definitely an impact on the economy. And responsible accounting is nothing but to adapt to that changing requirement. So 17th century, two people, Leibniz and Pascal, both of them invented mammoth calculators. Okay, it was good to have, but it did not change the society as such. So there was a technology which came, but it did not make an impact on the economy. But again, in the 18th century, you will find arithmetic was developed by Xavier Thomas B. Palmer. Adam Smith laid the foundation of the economic theory, and at this point of time, when industrial revolution was at full force, the concept of sub-ledgers and general ledgers came into being. So before that, double entry was there, but the concept of sub-ledger, where the details are there and summaries are posted into the general ledger, that concept was not there. So the accounting changed itself again, and that is what again I call as responsible accounting. 19th century, but by the year 1830, messages were being transmitted to various people, but it was limited because messages were going through either on horse or people were running to give messages and all. So the speed of the runner was the maximum speed at which the information can be transmitted. But then telegraph came, the Morse code came, and now information can be transmitted over the air. So this completely changed the dynamics itself. Stock prices, inventory prices, all across the globe were now getting transmitted. And then by the end of the 19th century, if telephone was not enough, two things happened. There was a telephone which got invented and then wireless radio. Now this entire thing supercharged the entire financial environment, and it had a very strong impact on accounting. So the accountants were not now looking, the expectation was not just recording the transaction, the expectation, the skills, everything changed, and communication and ability to act on the information became the key requirement for accounting. So reports, more reports, detailed reports, granular reports, that's how the accounting changed itself. Now we come fast forward ourselves to the 20th century. There was a Great Depression till 1929, so nothing much happened. But then, just after that, 1945 or 45 onwards, computers started, and it started storing computers started storing the programs and the procedures, and this was not evolution, it was metamorphosis. Things completely changed for accounting. And this is the timeline, 1945, the first general purpose electronic digital computer, 1951 UNIVAC 1, 64 IBM mainframe. Okay, you will be amazed that most of the banks currently today also use the same IBM mainframes. People who operate have died. Nobody knows how to operate them, but they are still running. Some of the banks are still using those 1964 mainframes. That's a huge internal control risk. But as an auditor, we have stopped even asking which computer or which version of the software you are using. So, 1979, IBM AS400, 1970s, that was the time of the Cold War. Now again, Cold War had an impact on everyone. It had an impact on the industry. Microprocessors became the game. Okay, and since microprocessors became the game, it had an impact on accounting as well. So 1970s we will start seeing that ERPs or financial ERPs, what we call them, started coming into being. Starting with Lawson, P3, SAP R2 version, JD Edwards, QuickBooks. These were the first few ERPs which happened. Now, finally, we land up into the ERP era, which is like where posting and balancing, these are not the things. What was being sold was the integration of different departments. Okay, single source of accounting. Okay, so again, the accounting had to adapt itself. And the CFOs and the boards were not satisfied that your books are balanced. Okay, they wanted, the auditors also wanted different things, and they wanted internal control systems to be put into the place. So this is where things again changed for accounts, where the skill set now required that you get into the system and put internal controls within the system itself. Okay, so internal controls from the physical realm got inside the computer itself. So this is what was happening in the 87, 92, 98, and then when we land up in 2000, things again changed because 2004 was the time when Amazon came up with the concept of the cloud. Now, this is, in the last 20 years, this has been fundamentally a very different domain wherein people have shifted to digital accounting, ERP, IFRS, then 2010 to 2015, automation and forensic audits. In India, things were also changing in terms of GST transition and other things. 2015 to 20, we saw big data and AI coming in huge way. And then currently AI and RPA. If you take your own program for today, out of the 14 or 15 sessions, at least 10 sessions are on AI. So AI is the thing now. So we will talk a little bit of AI, but the situation on the ground. The situation on the ground is that most of our data is now on the clouds, and if this is the terms and conditions of being UPI. All of us are using UPI today. And if you go through the terms and conditions, it says that अगर गलती से transaction fail हो गया तो मेरा कोई जिम्मेदारी नहीं है, ठीक है? Fortunately, when an UPI transaction fails, the money comes back. But if it doesn't come back, what will you do? Nobody knows.
There is a complaint
Where?
with the bank and with the payment merchant.
Please do, and if it comes back, I will be very happy. Please give me a party. But it may come back. It will come. It can come
It
back.
has come back actually. In one of my cases, it has come back after 3 days.
So please party. कितना था? कितना था ना?
14 से 1500 रुपए था।
क्या पार्टी मांगे? But मान लीजिए आपके क्लाइंट का 2 लाख रुपया यूपीआई से पेमेंट को, it doesn't come back. Okay, how will you manage it? So there is no concrete system because they are helping. I am not saying NCPI is not helping, but the terms and conditions says that I am not responsible. Okay, मैं जो help कर रहा हूँ वो favor है. हाँ, उससे बेसिक कुछ नहीं आया तो मेरा जिम्मेदारी नहीं.
Can we complain in RBI?
हाँ, please do.
Can we complain in RBI when?
Please do. आपको जहाँ करना है कर लीजिए, पैसा तो आना चाहिए वापस.
See, पैसा तो आ जाता है. Within 3 days it does come back. मेरा हुआ है. 40,000 रुपीस भेजे थे और वापस आ गया था सेम डे नाइट में.
सर आप
इनको पार्टी देना चाहिए।
हाँ, इनको पार्टी.
हाँ तो पार्टी आप दे देंगे, ले लेंगे हम, कोई बात नहीं है, उसमें क्या है.
बहुत खुशी की बात है कि आपका पैसा आ गया. 98% लोगों का आ जाता है. Question is for those 2% people जिनका नहीं आता है. And contractually you have signed an agreement which says that I am not responsible. So that is my point. Okay. It is not limited to Bhim UPI. UPI has done a great service. You go to Google, it is the same agreement. They have disclaimed that there is no liability from my side if your data gets lost. We are putting everything in the Google. I am not scaring you. I am just telling you that this is the fact. And what kind of challenge it will lead to. You go to Amazon, same thing. You go to Microsoft, it is the same thing. Now, again, another challenge we face is that 91% of the enterprises are saying that they are wasting money on cloud. They are buying processors, they are buying hard disks, they are buying RAMs, and they don't know whether it is being used or not. So this is again something which as an auditor, as a CA, you need to be conscious of. That is the point which I am trying to make. So what we have challenges to solve. One, cloud cost has a tendency to spiral in nature. If you have bought a cloud application, you will find that the bills can suddenly become from 15,000 rupees to 1 lakh rupees if you are not conscious of what you are purchasing. Cloud providers are saying that they are not responsible for the data. So as an internal auditor, if you have given, based on AS1, if you have said that the company is a going concern, and if the data is completely lost and they are not able to recover it, then your practice will be cancelled. So that is the challenge at hand. How do you mitigate? You will have to ask your client to put cloud data as a backup. You will have to ask your client to use multiple cloud providers. Okay, so all these are the things which needs to be done. So, but both are serious internal control issues. That is the point which I am making. Now, in the 21st century, again, going with that flow, AI, we have talked all about AI. We have started talking since last few years, but AI is not new. AI is quite old. It started from 1950s when Alan Turing invented the machine which broke the code. From that time, AI is there. So the first application was when computers started playing chess and started defeating the world players. I think the name was Deep Blue or something. So that was also AI. Okay. Then now what we are looking at is a much advanced version of AI, which is like there is an agent which does most of the work. But the future AI will be much more serious. The future AI will be where you will be having robots and everything will be, there will be a machine-to-machine communication. Okay. And the next phase after that will be that machine will learn by itself and you even don't know what the machine has learned. Okay. And now you are still the auditor of that company. So I don't know how will you audit it. So, but this is what is the future look like. So how will you adapt as an auditor? How will we adapt as an accountant? That is one thing. Fortunately, I have left accounting many years back. मेरे नाम के आगे सीए थोड़ा ऐसे ही लगा हुआ है, but essentially people like you who are practicing it, this is a challenge. Now AI also has cost. AI is not free. It may look free, but AI has cost. If you just put a conversational model, it costs somewhere around $50,000. If you want to have an AI-driven feature where there will be a customer assistance chat, the cost becomes $100,000. If you want to do an entire business process, the cost will be $1 million or so. Okay, so AI is not free. Now, when you see these kind of figures into the customer's P&L, you will have to ask questions. So, what kind of questions will you ask? And what is the way forward? That is what. So the challenge to solve again is AI itself has a cost because you need to train the AI and all. And then again this AI is hosted on the cloud, जिसका cost अभी तक हमको मालूम ही नहीं, ठीक है? So now वो एक सर थे जो बोले कि डंकी पे मंकी चढ़ गया बोला वैसे ही. So now CFOs are asking that I need to know where am I need granularity to take decisions, but I don't have. So the third technology which is impacting us is the IoT. IoT sensors are being put everywhere in the factory. Now earlier this ecosystem was that ERP used to be in the head office, factory used to be separate. Factory used to send data, वो ERP में entry होता था. So these were two different things. Okay. Now, with the help of IoT, even the weighing machine in the factories has been linked with the ERP. अभी वो जो एक weighing machine का sensor वो अगर खराब होता है, then your entire accounting is getting impacted. And then, as an auditor, as a company boss, you might not even be aware that there is an IoT device which has been put up there. So forget it, because it is 800 or 1000 rupees thing. You have not even capitalized it. It has gone as an expense. But that is seriously impacting the way company is running the business. Okay. So it comes with its own challenges of cost, implementation. It needs a robust infrastructure. Again, because it is deployed very widely as a sensor, it has got huge cybersecurity issues. हेड ऑफिस में एटलीस्ट सब आदमी के पास में एंटीवायरस ये तरह कुछ होता है, फैक्ट्री में कितने लोगों के पास एंटीवायरस होता है ये अपने आप में एक सवाल है, ठीक है. सो देयर यू हैव पुट एन IoT, सो दैट इज अगेन अ चैलेंज. It has got a huge impact. So now again, what we are seeing from the technology standpoint is that there is a shift in the trend. The trend is shifting where from public cloud, the organizations are now trying to create private clouds. So there is a much more larger focus on putting your own infrastructure inside a data center and creating your own cloud rather than relying on the public cloud like Amazon or Google. It is happening because of the spiraling cost. Okay. But this is a change which we are seeing because there is a huge demand in data center. And I can tell you that Kolkata is going to be one of the biggest data center hubs in the next 5 years. If you go to Bengal Silicon Valley area near city center too, most of the big data centers of the world are putting up their places there. Okay. So, and data centers are not judged by the amount of data they are stored. Okay. ऐसा नहीं कि मेरा data center is a data center which can store 500 GB of data or 1 terabyte of data. Data centers are measured in terms of electricity. Okay. So the amount of electricity which the data center consumes, that is the benchmark on which a data center is judged. So you can have a data center of a capacity of 1 megawatt, 2 megawatt, 10 megawatt, 1 gigawatt. Okay. Globally, we are facing a shortage of 63 gigawatt of data centers. Okay. So that is the reason now there is a shift of creating your own private cloud because now we are used to working from anywhere. Okay. Cloud is a must, so we are moving back to the private cloud. Again, based on this, there is no effort on optimization for the compute facilities which are being taken, data and storage, database. There is on the analytics, the organizations have become a little more prudent and they are spending time to optimize the services. But if it comes to compute, data storage, database, backup and retention, there is no efficiency at all. So challenges, what I mentioned, plus these trends which I mentioned, plus the future which is going to be there. So the future is going to be where CFOs are going to be asking for predictive analytics. Okay. The CA Venugopal also said that you should be able to predict if the balance is in a particular month for a GST is wrong. So predictive analytics is the future. Blockchain, again, blockchain based accounting is going to be implemented in some form. Again, this is an example where a technology was there, but blockchain did not got into the social fabric and hence it did not impact the accounting much. Okay. So it just remained at the level of where you had some crypto wallets and all. Okay. Accounting to उसका बहुत ज़्यादा impact नहीं हुआ. Then the things which are going to impact is quantum computing for risk modeling, which will essentially reduce the time of modeling the risk, and decentralized finance, which is nothing but a kind of blockchain. That will start entering into the balance sheets and increase spend on data center, cloud and data. Now, this is where we are. Challenges plus trends plus the future. So what is my way forward? My way forward is a concept called FinOps. FinOps is a new thing which has emerged on the block, wherein people who have the background of finance and who understands the technology a little bit can be trained to solve those challenges. Okay. So this is the field. It starts with a $100 certification. It has been developed by Linux Foundation, the organization which developed Linux. Now, it gives you very detailed understanding of how cloud needs to be managed, how AI needs to be managed, how IoT needs to be managed. And if you have all the three, how will you manage? Okay. So this is something as an value-added services. If you want to provide to your customer, this is something which can be looked into, and this is going to be in demand for the future. FinOps has got three essential phases. inform phase where it is about identifying the data sources for cloud cost, usage and efficiency, optimize where you try to improve the cloud efficiency using the data what you have, and then operate where you do the organizational change based on the data you have. An example will be that you have provision for a cloud for the month end, where you are running too many processes to close your books of accounts. Okay, and you have left that compute facility which you have taken for the month end for months to come, for another month. So in the cloud, it is absolutely possible to take that compute facility for 2 days and then release that facility. So that is the kind of efficiency which we are talking about. One of the cases, one of the customers of ours approached us that they are facing huge challenges in cloud bills crossing more than $100,000 every month. When we looked at it, we found that this gentleman is running a particular program and has taken 6 threads or 12 threads of processing power from the Azure, and that is where it is getting built. But essentially he needed just one. Okay. So you will require people who understand finance, who understand technology. Finance बहुत ज़्यादा जानना भी important नहीं है. Because at the end of the day, the entire finance is cost is equal to price into quantity. Okay. So this is the total sum game for anything. So with that understanding how it impacts the business, plus a little bit of knowledge of finance and technical, I think that is where things are moving. FinOps also gives that what kind of KPIs you can manage. First one is cost per inference. Every time inference is where in an AI model you give an input and it gives an output. Okay. So you need to calculate the efficiency of your AI based on this. So cost per inference. The training cost efficiency. Okay. We have spent thousands and thousands of dollars, but we don't know whether our AI is giving back the right result or not. So training cost efficiency. So the gentleman legal access जो भी है, sorry for forgetting his name, but what is the cost which he has spent for training his LLM? And so that is, as an auditor of that organization, if I think this is a very key metric, the auditor should look into that. What is the training cost efficiency for that? And when he will make money. So that kind of metrics you will get from the technology. Token compensation metrics, token again is an output, so there are formulas for that. Resource utilization efficiency, anomaly detection rate. So there are at least 50-60 matrices which are there in this, and you can look into just whatever is required. So that was one thing. The second way forward is to look into the standards. So there are a lot of technical standards which are getting developed across India, across globe, and as a finance professionals, we cannot limit ourselves for a technology to hit us. We will have to be a little proactive. Okay. And I must say from this stand that it may not be liked by many people, but the institute needs to become a little more agile. Okay. Otherwise, we should have been talking about AI at least 5 years back, not today. So, digital engineering is where a lot of standards are being made. Suppose you are the auditor of not Reliance and not Infosys or something. You are an auditor of Aadhaar. Okay. How will you audit? How will you know that the costs are right or not? So, that is the concept of digital engineering. Digitally delivered services. This is again something which is very important. The entire legal framework in India is based on the defect of a product. Okay. There is no concept of defect in service. That is why when an Ola you book and it doesn't turn up, you cannot sue that guy. Okay. ICICI Bank में आप फोन करिए वो बंदा फोन ही नहीं उठाता है आपका. Toll free में they don't respond. Can you sue ICICI Bank? You cannot, because there is no idea of defects in service. Okay. So possibly this is the time when we need to include that idea of defect in service as well. Possibly as a CA we will also be brought under the ambit of it, because we will not be able to bypass that. But when services are being delivered to us digitally, and there is no idea of defect, there is no way of suing and proceeding, just there is a concept of ombudsman and all. Okay. it doesn't work. So I am working with Delhi Police on some citizen-centric standardization wherein for lost and found of a mobile phone and all, Delhi Police doesn't want to come to police station. We can do it online. So this is again the standardization where as a financial professional we should invest on. System resilience. What is the ability of a system of a client to come back from disaster? Resilience is the ability to come back from the adversity. That is the resilience. Suppose something has gone wrong. How fast it can come back? Okay. What are the steps which you have taken? These are the questions which needs to be asked. And there are standards. So don't feel alone that if I ask the client मुझे कुछ भी बोलेगा या कोई भी मुझे कुछ भी बोल देगा मैं भी आपको आके कुछ भी बोलूँगा. There are standards which on system resilience. So please have a look at it. The other key areas is explainable AI. Explainable AI is not when you get an explanation from an AI. If the output is bullshit, then the explanation will also be bullshit. Okay, so that is not explainable AI. Explainable AI from the technological standpoint is explainable AI from the technology standpoint is when the AI writes inside their logs that how they have taken that decision. Okay. So that when something goes wrong, you are able to correct it. Okay. So we got a data set wherein we found that an autonomous car was not braking when a woman was crossing the road. So we had given that use case to that AI. That AI was for an autonomous car. Based on that data set, the car was not braking itself when a woman was crossing the road. Okay. If we were giving inputs that a man is crossing the road, the autonomous car was braking. But when a woman was crossing the road, it was not braking. Then we realized that accidentally we have put the picture of a pregnant woman there. It is not able to identify that it is a woman or not. So these are the biases which come inside the AI. Okay. And to resolve those biases, you need explanation by the system itself. That is what is explainable AI. Okay. And we should. Okay, so I'll wrap up quickly. Again, there are some things called G software from blah blah blah. 6G is going to come, so please have a look. And then finally, this is something which I really want you guys to have a look. This is a standard IS 18838. It is on adequacy of organizational data governance and management practices. This is by Bureau of Indian Standards. This standards lists down 16 practices which should be followed by every organization. So this standard doesn't say you are at level 1 or 2. It just says yes or no. So whether you have a data inventory in your organization or not, most of the SMEs will not have a data inventory. You don't know what kind of data is there inside the system. So it lists down things like that. So this is the free standard. Please download. I am talking with ICAI also to make this standard as a service where CA can go and audit on it. But there is a meeting required between DTPA and ICAI president. Before the ICAI president settles the election हो जाता है यार. So everybody should get at least 2-3 years to work upon. Otherwise it is very difficult. मैंने रैपो बना के वहाँ तक पहुँचते टाइम लग जाता है. और फिर उसका निकलने का टाइम लगता है. ठीक है. So this is something which CA should definitely do. This is software and systems engineering. This is the committee which I manage along with Bureau of Indian Standards. It has got a lot of software related standards which are available free in India. Way forward free. The kid on the block is the DTPA, Digital Personal Data Protection Act. If you are an organization which is having personal data in any shape and form, you are going to be impacted by it. Okay. The rules are getting notified now. It is under public consultation phase. One of the consultation is happening on Monday in Western Kolkata. But wherein localization of data is very important. So if you are on a cloud, you should ask the question to the cloud provider or your customer to ask to the cloud provider that where is my data located? Whether it is in India or it is outside India. Because that is something which is going to be impact in terms of your compliance. Then I am attached with India Internet Foundation as the chair of it. It works on internet measurements. We have deployed measuring devices across India at 100 places. We continuously measure internet to see that what kind of internet congestions and things are there. So आप लोग अगर कभी भी OTT देखते होंगे तो वो गोल आता है ना बीच में, ठीक है? That buffering, इसको हम buffering बोलते हैं. That is basically internet congestion. So how to remove that? That is one of the work which we do. This project is also funded by Government of India. So this is the last slide. So why should we care about this? Okay. Data management and governance is fundamental. We need to work on it. Okay. We need to follow a basic minimum standard. If we don't, then we are at a loss. Things are very dynamic geopolitically. आप देख रहे हैं हमारे and he is very confident that we are doing things very well in back home. Okay. Accounting practices decide the way we conduct ourselves in different countries. If we don't follow the right accounting practices and we have books of accounts which are not following the right accounting practices, we will not be able to conduct ourselves at a global level. We will have to ensure that digitally delivered services are trustworthy. This is again a subject, sometime I would like to talk about it. But it is important that we are at a position where we are able to tell the world that this is the next phase of what we have, next technology which we want. Okay, we are just adopting technology from the West. That is something which is not good. Then we cannot compete with AI. We have to design AI to suit us. And there is an AI Act in Europe. Very soon we can have an AI Act in India. Okay, so let us be ready. And this term accountant needs to change. We are no more just an accountant. Possibly हमारा नाम change हो जाना चाहिए tech accountant and या accounting engineer, something like that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anupam ji, for your diverse perspective about how responsible accounting should be. I would request Chairman of the session, Sujit ji, please give us closing remarks.
What a grand eye-opening session it was. Once again, the structured devices, speakers and colleagues. As we wrap up this session on responsible accounting, I sincerely thank our speakers here from abroad for his insights and all for your participation. Thank you. We have seen that accounting is not just about numbers. Our role goes beyond comparisons. Let's take this learning forward and apply it in our work, thinking and making positive impact on businesses, and I appreciate the active participation of all and efforts of our organizers. Wishing you all continued support. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Anupam ji. Now we'll start away directly with the quiz, which I think many of us are waiting for. So, Sumit, Bharat, can you please start?
Both the quizzes started.
Both it, tell them that the quiz is starting here.
Okay, vote of thanks given Shyam. We can meet.
So, जितने लोग यहाँ पर हैं उन लोग ने ग्रुप में एडेड है, सब लोग ने वो ज्वाइन QR कोड से ज्वाइन कर लिया. सुमित, कैन वी हैव द प्रेजेंटेशन प्लीज? तो मैं आपको बता दे रहा हूँ, द क्वेश्चंस वील हैव 30 क्वेश्चंस. आफ्टर 10 क्वेश्चंस विल शो द लीडरशिप बोर्ड, कौन क्या पोजीशन में है. पक्का आप लोग अपना नाम ठीक से डालिएगा so that we know who has given the right answers. And every question will be of 20 seconds. तो जैसे ही क्वेश्चन आएगा within 20 seconds you have to answer. अगर आप वो आंसर नहीं करते हैं तो that question will go away. That question will be locked, and if you don't answer, that will not be counted. And we have 10 prizes.
कुछ एक क्वेश्चंस ट्रिकी भी हैं, थोड़े लेंदी भी है, तो थोड़ा सा पढ़ने में समय लगाइएगा और करेक्ट आंसर दीजिएगा.
तो 20 सेकंड चला जाएगा सर.
हाँ सर,
पढ़ते पढ़ते 20 सेकंड निकल जाएगा।
सर थोड़ा सा तो फास्ट पढ़ना पड़ेगा। सर हम लोग हुआ इतना जल्दी पढ़ लेते हैं तो क्वेश्चन पढ़ने में कितना देर लगेगा? बस तुक्का मत लगाइएगा, पढ़ के आंसर दीजिएगा, क्योंकि तुक्का में रिवाइज नहीं कर पाओगे।
सर वो फॉल्स नहीं जाना ना, फॉल्स नहीं जाना।
हाँ
स्टार्ट करें तो
yeah, sure, we will tell you all.
अभी स्टार्ट नहीं किया ना? क्वेश्चन 2 आ गया।
किसी को प्रॉब्लम हो रहा तो प्लीज बताइएगा। आप आई बिलीव एवरीबॉडी हैज लॉग्ड इन।
So we have 8 people only as of now.
Sumit, can you please help him?
रेडी हो गया। 80 यूजर है ऑलरेडी जो है 80 यूजर लर्न कर दिया।
Wow. Now you can see. बट एक रिक्वेस्ट है, जो यहाँ फिजिकली प्रेजेंट है उन्हीं को ही प्राइज मिलेगा। व्हाट्सएप पे घर से कर रहे हैं तो उनको प्राइज नहीं।
So 85 people are on it right now. 85 people have joined. 87. We'll wait for 10 more seconds. क्या लगता है किस तरीके के क्वेश्चंस रहेंगे?
एआई के ऊपर रहेंगे।
एआई और
अकाउंट जीएसटी टैक्स।
नहीं सर, अकाउंट जीएसटी टैक्स पर नहीं रहेगा, इतना गारंटी है सब एआई रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस ज्यादा रहेंगे।
एआई भी रहेगा, साइबर सिक्योरिटी भी रहेगा, आप जो डेली प्रैक्टिसेस में इश्यूज फेस करते हो उसके ऊपर भी रहेगा, टेक रिलेटेड।
हम लोग जवाब दे पाएंगे तो सर?
अच्छा, चैट जीपीटी में जीपीटी का मतलब किसको किसको नहीं सर, फैकल्टी आपका अलाउड नहीं है बोलना। उस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस रहेंगे बेसिकली।
आप बता दीजिए सर क्या जीपीटी में।
तो आई थिंक वी शुड स्टार्ट।
90 हो गया सर।
We'll start with the first question. चलिए पहला क्वेश्चन से चालू करते हैं।
फिर से वो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं।
फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन आ गया, which of the following is a common application of artificial intelligence in accounting? Automating data entry and invoice processing, manual ledger reconciliation, physical inventory, traditional tax filing.
ये ऑलरेडी जवाब दे चुके हैं।
जो कर चुका होगा उसका नहीं होगा, जो नहीं किया है उसका नहीं होगा। 3, 2,
and the time is over.
And the time is over. Can we have the right answers? Okay, so 100% has given the answers. Automating data entry and invoice processing. क्या ये सही आंसर है?
पर जो सबसे फास्ट देगा उसी को प्राइज मिलेगा।
मतलब आप ये मत समझिए क्योंकि 100% ने दिया है तो इसमें जो सबसे फास्टेस्ट जिसने दिया होगा उसका कंसिडर किया जाए।
तो कैसे निकालेंगे?
वो सर एआई लगाया हुआ है। चले नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। Which of the following is an example of AI in everyday life? Digital assistants like Siri or Alexa, predictive text suggestions while typing, GPS device on a map, a computer performing basic arithmetic calculations.
ट्रिकी है, ध्यान से कीजिएगा।
10 seconds to go. इसमें बहुत डिवीजन आना चाहिए। Let's see. क्या आंसर्स आते हैं? Okay, so 46% option 1, 18% option 2, 34 in option 3 and 2 in option 4. So क्या जनता जनार्दन सही है? 46%. Let's see. Can we have the right answer? Absolutely. The majority wins. Digital assistants like Siri or Alexa was the right answer. Comfortable? Let's move on to the third question. What is the purpose of AI-powered chatbots? To analyze user queries and generate human-like responses, to provide automated customer support, to collect and store all user data permanently, to execute pre-programmed responses without learning from interactions.
ये भी ट्रिकी है,
थोड़ा लंबा है, tricky है. 5 seconds more. चलिए देखते हैं किसका आंसर सबसे ज्यादा सही है. Oh my God, 57%. Answer A is 57%. Let's see what's the right answer. Oh, यहाँ जनता गलत हो गई. So 24% were right to provide automated customer support.
आप चैट जीपीटी बोलते तो शायद पहला वाला आंसर होता, पर चैटबॉट के लिए स्पेसिफिकली वो कस्टमर सपोर्ट के लिए डिजाइन किया.
ये ट्रिक क्वेश्चन था. तो एक बार क्वेश्चन थोड़ा ध्यान से पढ़ें बिफोर आंसरिंग, क्योंकि टाइम कम है तो एक ही बार आंसर करने का मौका मिल रहा है आपको. Let's move on to the next question, please. How does AI improve decision making in businesses? AI replaces human executives by making autonomous decisions based on data, provide insights, forces organizations to implement decisions. It eliminates the risk of making incorrect business decisions. हम लोग डिसीजन मेकिंग रोज करते हैं, देखिए किसका आंसर सही होता है इसमें.
Again, a very tricky question.
83%. ये तो राइट होना चाहिए. चलिए, लेट्स सी द राइट आंसर. एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. इतना लंबा क्वेश्चन था लेकिन सबने पढ़ लिया. सर देखा, इतना लंबा क्वेश्चन में 20 सेकंड में सब आंसर कर दिए.
नहीं तुक्का नहीं था
सर. 83%
we are sitting with intelligent people.
सर, और सर दिन भर यही पढ़ा है, इतना तो आप समझ में आ गया होगा. चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. How does AI improve road safety with self-driving? It removes the need for traffic lights, allows cars to drive without GPS, detects obstacles and make real-time decisions. It manually assists human drivers without automation. Self-driving में AI कैसे improve करता है?
इंडिया में भी तक नहीं आया ये सेल्फ ड्राइविंग कार, कहीं भी नहीं आया. इनफैक्ट यूएस में ट्रायल चल रहा है.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. The time's up. 78%.
वेरी नाइस.
मतलब सब कोई चीटिंग पेपर लेके बैठा.
पेपर लीक हो गया.
पेपर लीक हो गया. मेजॉरिटी सब एक ही साइड जा रहा है.
नहीं, हम लोग कैमरा से देख रहे हैं कौन कोई
AI लगाते हैं कौन किससे देख रहा है. चलो, व्हाट इज द राइट आंसर?
करेक्ट आंसर.
करेक्ट आंसर. सर अब देखा जाएगा फास्टेस्ट फिंगर फर्स्ट है कौन जीत रहा है. चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Biggest limitation of AI in cyber security. AI can predict and prevent all cyber attacks, lacks adaptability and cannot respond, relies on past data patterns, completely eliminates the need for human intervention. क्या सबसे बड़ा हिंड्रेंस है AI का साइबर सिक्योरिटी में?
प्लीज कॉम मत कीजिए, मुझे पता है वो सही आंसर है.
46% vulnerable to security.
अब देखिए इसने तुक्का नहीं मारा कि आई एम श्योर पीपल आर हियर आर वेरी इंटेलिजेंट.
Let's see the right answer. Correct. The majority is right. Majority का एक आंसर गलत हुआ है अभी तक, नहीं तो majority एकदम सही जा रहा है. So 6 out of 30 done. Let's move on to 7th. How does AI automate bookkeeping process in modern accounting software? It predicts future transactions based on past spending, requires accountants to manually enter, categorizes financial data and generate reports, deletes the old financial records. नहीं मैम, अभी तो सेकंड्स बचे हैं. हाँ, किसी का नेट का इश्यू हो गया होगा तो नहीं बोल सकता. 80%. ये भी राइट आंसर होना चाहिए. लेट्स सी. करेक्ट. 7 क्वेश्चंस गॉन.
10 के बाद हम वीडियो.
हाँ, 10 के बाद. What makes AI generated content difficult to detect? AI can perfectly mimic human writing style. It contains patterns that human can identify. The model still struggles to generate complex logical arguments. It embeds invisible digital watermarks and text for detection. कौन सा कंटेंट AI के लिए, जैसे बताया ना कि वो यूपी का नोटिस आया या तमिलनाडु का नोटिस आया तो उसके लिए क्या होना चाहिए? किसी का इंटरनेट का आपका इश्यू होगा मैम, सबका आंसर जा रहा है.
बगल वाले से हॉटस्पॉट ले लीजिए.
इंटरनेट का इश्यू होगा मैम. 40 लोग ने अगर आंसर दिया आउट ऑफ 91 तो मैं ये नहीं बोल सकता आंसर जा नहीं रहे.
हाँ हाँ वो खत्म हो जाता टाइम खत्म हो जाता
नहीं तो जब यार डिस्प्ले में आ रहा होगा टाइम जब तक आ रहा है तब तक खत्म हो जाएगा।
चलिए नेवर माइंड।
तो आप 18 सेकंड पकड़ के चलिए लेट्स सी द राइट आंसर्स। अगेन जनता जनार्दन इज राइट 40%। एआई कैन परफेक्टली मिमिक ह्यूमन राइटिंग स्टाइल। तो हम लोग चैट जीपीटी का बहुत सारे जन एआई ने क्लास किया किस तरीके से टोन हम लोग देते हैं क्या करते हैं, तो दे कैन परफेक्टली डू दैट। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, प्राइमरी बेनिफिट ऑफ यूजिंग एआई पावर्ड टूल्स इन फाइनेंशियल फोरकास्टिंग क्या होता है, पर्पस क्या होता है, बेनिफिट क्या होता है? रिड्यूसिंग द नीड फॉर ह्यूमन अकाउंटेंट्स, एलिमिनेटिंग फाइनेंशियल रिस्क, एनहांसिंग एक्यूरेसी, इंक्रीजिंग मैनुअल डेटा एंट्री।
थोड़ा सा लेफ्ट में आ जाइए।
बगल वाले का हॉटस्पॉट ले लो।
देखिए टावर किधर आ रहा है।
सर्वर का
लेट्स सी 50 लोगों ने आंसर दिया है 49, 80% ने एक जवाब दिया है। एंड इज इट राइट?
करेक्ट आंसर।
द करेक्ट आंसर इज यस, एनहांसिंग एक्यूरेसी एंड प्रेडिक्टिव एनालिसिस।
So last question for the leaderboard.
फर्स्ट पार्ट का लास्ट क्वेश्चन। चलिए क्वेश्चन नंबर 10 9th में आ गया। अच्छा फर्स्ट पहले ही था ना, पहला वाला हो गया था। तो चलिए, तो फर्स्ट इज जयश्री श्याम सुखा जी।
जयश्री श्याम सुखा जी कौन है प्लीज?
कैन यू स्टैंड अप? या दैट लेडी इज देयर। सेकंड इज गौरव गोयनका जी, मेंबर आईटी। अरे बगल बगल में चीटिंग हो रहा है। सौरभ कुमार श्याम सुखा जी, वाह वो भी बगल में। सुमित बियानी, और सब बैक बेंचर। जितेंद्र अग्रवाल जी, सब बैक बेंचर जल्दी जल्दी आंसर दे रहे हैं, पीछे वाले लोग ज्यादा जल्दी दे रहे हैं।
और नेक्स्ट कौन है? एक बार 6 7 8 देखो।
नेक्स्ट आते हैं, चलिए आएगा नहीं, लास्ट में आएगा।
अच्छा ठीक है, लेट्स मूव अहेड।
लेट्स मूव अहेड। चलिए क्वेश्चन नंबर 10, व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ मशीन लर्निंग इन अकाउंटिंग?
अब अकाउंटिंग रिलेटेड है।
To perform manual data entry, to analyze large data sets, print financial statements, to file physical documents. Machine learning किस काम आता है in accounting? 2 seconds. इसमें टाइम तो अच्छा मिला, क्वेश्चन भी छोटा था, देखेंगे क्या आता है आंसर। 86%। सब एआई सीख गए हैं आज। एवरीबॉडी हैज लर्नड। आज मतलब सेशंस अच्छे थे क्या? इफ आई मे आस्क।
Sir, it is obvious based on the answer. Kudos to the committee.
Great. So moving to the next question. What does the acronym CIA stand in information security? CIA का मतलब क्या है?
CIA का फुल फॉर्म?
ये तो पढ़ा होगा कहीं ना कहीं। मेंबर को नहीं मिले?
हाँ आईटी कमेटी डिस्कस करेंगे। गौरव गोयनका को नहीं कराओ करेंगे।
और फैकल्टी को भी नहीं मिलता है। डिवाइडेड आंसर आया इसमें। 42% मेजॉरिटी बट डिवाइडेड आंसर्स। आई थिंक क्या सही आंसर है बताइए सुनिए। राइट, फर्स्ट आंसर मेजॉरिटी इज करेक्ट। confidentiality, integrity and availability. चलिए next question. Which of the following is a method to ensure data confidentiality? Data confidentiality का कौन सा मेथड होता है? Data encryption, regular backups, user training and network monitoring. क्या करने से डेटा कॉन्फिडेंशियल हो सकता है?
सिंपल क्वेश्चन,
वेरी इजी। ये मेजॉरिटी, लेकिन 6% 2% वाले कौन है ये खोजना पड़ेगा। इन लोग का आंसर क्यों नहीं मैच हो रहा है? इतना मेजॉरिटी से जा रहा है तो आंसर सही होना ही है। डेटा एन्क्रिप्शन वाज द राइट आंसर। चलो नेक्स्ट, इन एक्सेस कंट्रोल व्हाट डज द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ लीस्ट प्रिविलेज एंटेल?
हम सेशन कर चुके हैं एक्सेस कंट्रोल के ऊपर। उसी के
user have access to all data, they have access to data necessary for their role, can modify security and have administrative privileges. Seventy-two %. 100% leave हो गया question paper. चलो right answer. The majority is having the right answer. हाँ? हाँ, slider use हो गया. चलिए two-factor authentication ये भी एक सेशन में डिस्कस हो रहा था. What is that? Using two passwords, combining a password with a second form of verification, using a password and a security question, या using two usernames. इसमें 90+% अगर नहीं आया तो मतलब सेशन कोई सुना नहीं. अगर एक आंसर पर नहीं आया तो 78 कभी हुआ. चलो जितना लोगों ने किया सही आंसर दिया मेजॉरिटी. चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज द एग्जांपल ऑफ बायोमेट्रिक ऑथेंटिकेशन. बायोमेट्रिक ऑथेंटिकेशन का क्या एग्जांपल है? पासवर्ड देना, पिन देना, फिंगरप्रिंट स्कैन करना कि सिक्योरिटी टोकन से करना? ज्यादा टाइम लिया इस क्वेश्चन में. ये हाफ वे थ्रू है. वी आर 15 डाउन.
तो 80% आना चाहिए. 98%. नहीं हमको 98 नहीं चाहिए. 2% ही बचना है. तो अंडरस्टैंड ये 2% कौन है? नहीं सर, वो फिर उसको वो अनुपम सर से पूछना पड़ेगा कैसे निकलेगा 2%. चलो वी आर हाफ वे थ्रू. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन प्लीज. प्राइमरी पर्पस ऑफ अ फायरवॉल इन नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी. फायरवॉल का पर्पस क्या होता है नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी में? टू एनक्रिप्ट डेटा, मॉनिटर यूजर एक्टिविटी, ब्लॉक अनऑथराइज्ड एक्सेस या बैकअप डेटा? सर आंसर खत्म होने, क्वेश्चन खत्म होने के बाद बताइए प्लीज. नहीं वो बता रहे हैं, फिर किसी का राइट हो जाएगा उसको प्राइज मिल जाएगा तो कैसे होगा? वाओ 98% अगेन. फिर 2% आया टू मॉनिटर यूजर एक्टिविटी. मतलब एक कंसिस्टेंट है कोई. लॉजिकली ये टू मॉनिटर यूजर एक्टिविटी भी है.
ये 2% कोई क्राउड है जो डिफरेंट है. कोई एक दो जगह जो डिफरेंट है.
वो घर से कर रहा है, घर से
वर्क फ्रॉम होम चल रहा है.
हाँ वर्क फ्रॉम होम भी हो सकता है. चले नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Which of the following is a social engineering attack? Social engineering attack कौन सा वाला है चारों से? Phishing, virus infection, denial of service, SQL injection.
आज ये सारे वर्ड्स हम लोग यहाँ यूज किए हैं.
भैया पहले बता दे तो सीरियसली सुनते ना. टॉपिक इंपॉर्टेंट था.
कुछ तो बोला ही हुआ था कि पहले होगा.
अरे टॉपिक इंपॉर्टेंट था, सुनते ना हम.
टॉपिक अरे कुछ तो आज ही का टॉपिक पे रिलेटेड है सर.
आप पहले क्विज कर रहे थे.
78%. चलो इसमें मेजॉरिटी है. गुड आंसर. 18. What does VPN stand for? VPN का फुल फॉर्म क्या है? वर्चुअल प्राइवेट नेटवर्क, वर्चुअल पब्लिक नेटवर्क, वेरीफाइड प्राइवेट नेटवर्क, वर्चुअल प्रोटेक्टेड.
दिस इज द ट्रिकी वन.
एक वर्ड इधर से उधर और आंसर गलत. इसमें भी 2% का है.
ज्यादा है.
73, 12 and 15. चलो राइट आंसर. मेजॉरिटी अगेन हैज गिवन द राइट आंसर. चले नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Which regulation focuses on data protection and privacy in the European Union? HIPAA, GDPR, SOX, PCI DSS. Data protection and privacy in the European Union का रेगुलेशन कौन सा है? अनुपम सर बोल रहे हैं ऐसे नहीं बोल, ऐसे नहीं पूछते. ये गलत बात.
मतलब एआई को प्रोसेस करने में इतना टाइम लग रहा है?
आपका स्लो हो गया सर।
आएगा। डिनायल ऑफ सर्विस अटैक हो गया। रुक जा। डिनायल ऑफ सर्विस अटैक।
हैंग हो गया सर। ना सही आंसर ले नहीं पाया।
वहाँ पे नहीं हुआ होगा, बाकी लोग पे आ गए थे बस। यहाँ मेरा इंटरनेट थोड़ा सा पार्क होटल का साबुन स्लो है। आंसर नहीं आया, वो डेटा आ गया है। एक बार बैक जा। आ गया। ओ वेरी गुड। 43 सॉक्स, इसमें लोग कंफ्यूज यार।
सॉक्स का फुल फॉर्म सर्वेलेंस सॉक्सले है। ये यूएस का एक बेसिकली आईएफसी के लिए होता है, इंटरनल फाइनेंशियल कंट्रोल के लिए। द करेक्ट आंसर इज जीडीपीआर।
सो यहाँ जनता थोड़ा सा दूसरा क्वेश्चन चले सर, अगर बगल से पूछ लीजिए नहीं हो रहा तो जैसे मोहन जी चले नेक्स्ट। व्हाट इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ कन्वर्टिंग डेटा इनटू अ कोड टू प्रिवेंट अनऑथराइज्ड एक्सेस? डिक्रिप्शन, एन्क्रिप्शन, ऑथेंटिकेशन, ऑथराइजेशन।
लिव इट अगेन।
इजी क्वेश्चन है
ऐसे इजी तो थोड़ा ट्रिकी भी है।
लेट्स सी, इसके बाद लीडर बोर्ड आएगा, क्या उलटफेर होगा? 88%। गुड।
2% अभी भी लगा हुआ है।
2% नहीं, अगर कांस्टेंट है, वो लोग इंश्योर कर रहे हैं कि वो लोग 2 से अलग आंसर देगा। चलिए, सो द लीडर बोर्ड कहाँ चेंज हुआ? 1 2 3 सेम, 1 2 3 एकदम सेम है। 4 वाला 5 हो गया।
ब्रिक्स कौन है?
ब्रिक्स अरे आगे भी बैक बेंच, ठीक है, सब बैक बेंच है। अरे आगे वाले कुछ करो
सर, उन लोगों को पेपर
पेपर किसी को नहीं मालूम है। हम दोनों को पता है,
पेपर किसी को नहीं पता।
हमारे प्रेसिडेंट मैडम को भी नहीं पता।
चलिए जितेंद्र भैया, क्या हो गया? पीछे चल गया, वापस आ गए, बाउंस बैक करेंगे सर। चलिए लास्ट 10 क्वेश्चन, ओके, फोकस के साथ करते हैं। चलिए लेट्स सी, which of the following is a common method used to protect data during transmission? Data masking, encryption, data mining, warehousing. Answers. 50 जन खेल रहे हैं, 50 में कौन 10 लकी होंगे देखना है।
आप लोगों ने एक चीज नोटिस किया, 3 से 4 क्वेश्चन में आंसर एनक्रिप्शन था। एनक्रिप्शन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है हमारे लाइफ में, व्हाइल डेटा एट रेस्ट और डेटा इन ट्रांजिट।
एंड एनक्रिप्शन ही सही जवाब था सारों में। तो only 63% got this time right. Let's move to the next. What is the main goal of implementing access controls? To monitor network traffic, to restrict unauthorized access, to back up data, optimize system performance. समय भी देखना है, राइट भी करना है, कैसे होगा? जो let's see what is the answer. 98%. Very nice. Sir, 2% maintain है मेरा आदमी। मेरा 2% मेंटेन है। Give it up. जो भी कर रहा है बहुत अच्छे है। उनके लिए कुछ स्पेशल निकालना पड़ेगा, लेकिन है कौन आइडेंटिफाई? एक ही आदमी है, एक ही आदमी। अगर 2% ऑफ एक ही आदमी पे कैसे होगा? 2 स्पेशल प्राइज उनके लिए
2 होगा ना सर, तभी तो 2%।
What is the which of the following is not a full form or not a form of multi-factor authentication? Password and security, password and fingerprint, password and OTP, security token and fingerprint. कौन सा इसमें से multi-factor नहीं है? ये ऑडिट की तरह है, सभी राइट लग रहा है, कौन सा राइट होगा ये देखना है। 42% एंड 29% में कंपटीशन है. देखिए कौन सा राइट है. 42%. गुड. साइबर सिक्योरिटी इंप्रूव हो गया है. चले. Which of the following best describes cloud computing? Local server used for data storage, delivery of computer services over the internet, personal computer with extensive storage, external hard drive connected to PC.
Very simple question.
इससे इजी तो अभी तक आई डोंट थिंक 24 क्वेश्चन में कुछ आया है, लेकिन 2% इसमें भी आए. 7 और 9% आया, 2 नहीं आया. अरे आगे 2 मेंटेन है मेरा. 83%. चलो राइट आंसर. ग्रेट. 25. Cloud computing का अगेन क्वेश्चन. What does IaaS stand for? It's not L, it's I. IaaS का मतलब क्या? Internet as a service, infrastructure as a service, integration as a service, information as a service. Let's see. Wow. Divided opinion. 43% right. अच्छा, इंटरनेट एज सर्विस के अलावा और 2 तरीके की सर्विस होती है. कैन एनीवन?
प्लेटफॉर्म एज सर्विस.
प्लेटफॉर्म एंड
सॉफ्टवेयर एज सर्विस.
करेक्ट.
एक और होती है RAAS. ransomware as a service.
सर पब्लिक को नहीं जाती. Great sir. Next question. What is a smart contract in the context of blockchain? Digital agreement that self-executes when predefined conditions are met. Traditional paper contract into a digital format. Encrypted email containing contract terms. A contract signed using a digital signature pad. What is
simple
a
question.
smart contract? So, I think समझ में आ रहा है. Let's see. 67%. 4 हो गया. And divided opinion है इसमें. Majority is right again. It is a digital agreement that self-executes when predefined conditions are met. चले. Next question. 27. How can blockchain enhance the auditing process by centralizing all financial data in one location, providing an immutable and transparent ledger of transactions, eliminating the need for any form of verification, or allowing unrestricted access to financial records?
This is the tough one.
Majority लेकिन इसमें भी आएगा. देखिएगा. 2 नहीं आना चाहिए इसमें ज़्यादा आएगा. इसमें ज़्यादा आएगा. बोले divided opinion आएगा इसमें. वही हुआ. 50% on one side and 50% with the other 3. What is the right? 50% right. So 27 questions gone. Last 3 questions of the day. बहुत संभाल के करिएगा. Might भी ऊपर नीचे हो जाए top 10 में. Let's see the final result. चलो. 28. Which cloud computing model offers software applications over the internet on a subscription basis? IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, NaaS. अभी तो बताया सर. आस पास सास नास. $58. सब लोग सांस लेकर
सांस पसंद है.
सबको सांस पसंद है. सब लोग की सांस थमी हुई है. देखिए क्या आंसर है. राइट. सांस में ठीक सांस आ गई. एकदम लिया. 58%. चलो. Last 2 questions. In blockchain, what is a block? A type of cryptocurrency, a record containing a list of transactions, security feature to prevent hacking, physical storage device. Easy है. हो जाना चाहिए. $63%.
लास्ट क्वेश्चन अभी रुक.
मजेदार आंसर. 63%. ग्रेट. क्या
अभी कुछ बेट लगाए थे कौन जीतेगा क्या पूछे तो
हाँ लेट्स स्टार्ट कौन गौरव ने कहा श्याम सुगानी
गौरव डिस्क्वालीफाइड
गौरव भी डिस्क्वालीफाइड हाँ तो गौरव के आसपास भी डिस्क्वालीफाइड होना चाहिए रिलेटेड पार्टी ट्रांजैक्शन अरे रिलेटेड पार्टी ट्रांजैक्शन हो गया सब आसपास बैठा हुआ है
नहीं गौरव को कुछ भी नहीं पता गौरव को कुछ नहीं पता गौरव मेरे साथ शेयर कर लेना
मतलब हेडफोन इनका चादर आपका
चलेगा चलो लास्ट क्वेश्चन लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द लास्ट क्वेश्चन फॉर द डे which technology allows multiple users to access and work on financial data simultaneously from different locations blockchain cloud computing artificial intelligence या quantum computing
very good question easy question है
very easy let's see the answers please 82% 2% क्वांटम में कितना है उनको खोज के मैं प्राइस दूंगा डेफिनेटली
गौरव उनके साथ अपना प्राइस शेयर करें
चले ऑल सेट 30 क्वेश्चंस डन लेट्स सी हु आर द विनर्स रिजल्ट्स चलो the answer let's see now cloud computing was right chalo Gaurav going right acha what we will do is presentation president आ जाइए senior VP treasurer office bearer में और कोई है available 3 जन हैं आप लोग आ जाओ प्लीज फुल रिजल्ट
খুলে দাও আমারটা খুলে দাও আমি সামনে চলে যাচ্ছি সামনে থেকে সরে সামনেটা একটু ক্লিয়ার করে দিয়ে লাইভ চলছে সেটা পূর্ণ না প্রাইসগুলো দেওয়া বলে প্রাইস তারপরে বাইরে পেপার একটা পেপার আছে তাহলে কাগজের মধ্যে টাইম টেন লেখা আছে सुमित का भी है क्या
तीन गलत कर दिया, एक तो स्पीड करने के चक्कर में मर गया।
So we'll give the 5 questions, 5 answers. So the 5th winner is Mr. Arun Agrawal. 5 number.
সন্দীপন্দা হাতটা একটু নিচে নামাবে সন্দীপন্দা
President to please. Then we have Mr. Devansh Buchasia. At number 4.
দাদা পেছনে লাইভ চলছে একটু বসে আরে
Then we have Mr. Saurabh Kumar Shansuka at number 3.
ওকে বল একটু মিডিলে না দাঁড়িয়ে বসে ছবি তুলতে
Chalo, congratulations Saurabh.
সেন্স নেই কিচ্ছু নেই
Then we call Miss Jayashree Shamsuka. चलिए आइए, let's welcome the winner of today's quiz, Mr. Gaurav Goenka. A big round of applause for Mr. Gaurav Goenka.
ফটোগ্রাফারদের ফেম নষ্ট করছে
So for today's session we have a couple of felicitations. First I would like to call Mr. Sumit Bhagat on stage. Sumit Bhagat. So I would like to ask the President to felicitate Mr. Sumit Bhagat for his untiring efforts with respect to the booklet as well as managing the parallel session, Slido and everything that he could do possibly best. A big round of applause for Sumit. The tool book, the e-booklet that he has won is all due to Sumit's efforts. Thank you, Sumit. Second person is Mr. Gaurav Goenka. Please come on the dais. Mr. Gaurav Goenka has been instrumental in making this conference where we are standing today. So his efforts have been recognized by the association and we thank him for his efforts. So I would request President to please acknowledge Gaurav Goenka ji.
गौरव भैया पार्टी दे दीजिएगा।
गौरव भैया की तरफ से
गौरव भैया पार्टी
डिनर है गौरव भैया की तरफ से
cocktail dinner hosted by गौरव भैया।
Next, would like to honor the co-chairman of the committee, C. Amit Singhania, for though he was not available for the last 4 days, but he made sure that all the arrangements, all the efforts that he could put, he has given all efforts. So congratulations, Amit, and thank you so much for your efforts. Last but not the least, the chairman of the conference. A big round of applause for Bharat Saraogi, the one, the brain behind the ACCOUNTECH 4.0 and all the efforts that he has made to make this a grand success. Congratulations, Bharat Saraogi. Thank you, everyone. Can we have a group photograph so everyone can come on stage, please? A group photograph. All the participants requested to please come on stage. Speakers and everyone.
You will die.
पीछे मुड़ के देख रहा है, लेके मत चला जाना।
आ जाओ बाहर आगे बैठना है क्या? वी कैन सिट, यंगस्टर्स कैन सिट। अरे বসে যাক না, বাধা ফটো আসবে।
আরে পেছনে আমরাও আছি। হ্যাঁ, এটা বুঝলে তো হয়ে যেত অনেকক্ষণ আগে, সেই সেন্সটাই তো নেই। কত বড় হোয়াইট তোমার, আমি দেখবো তো। গাধার মতো একটা কিছু বোঝে না। একটু সাইড দিস, তারপরে সাইড দিস।
We sit down. We sit down. We sit down. Oh, we sit down.
Thank you everyone. Thank you so much. We'll meet next year at ACCOUNTECH 5.0. Thank you so much. Thanks to our sponsors, TPF, Lex Legis, all the exhibitors, Tally, Webtel, Fact. Thank you everyone. Thank you.